So today we are flying the R2Y2 V3. Doesn't get an air spawn anymore. I got 9 kills in it and I decided to do this one separately because it's kind of a fluke game, so I don't really want to cover it in the tutorial kind of sense. Because, well, it doesn't represent the plane that well. I'd rather do that in a separate video where I cover all three at once. I also explain what the differences are and what kind of the guideline of the plane is. And I'm just gonna commentate on the game itself in this video. And then I will go more in depth between the differences of the R2Y2s in a separate video I will make. It's going to be a lot shorter and it will have a lot less gameplay, but it will be more in depth on the plane itself. So without further ado, you just missed the P51. The guns on this thing are absolutely insane. You have 600 rounds, 150 rounds per gun. You have more fire time than the 50 cal Sabres, which is just insane. And unlike with the 50 cal Sabres, of course, the guns on the 50 cal Sabre might one shot here and there. But in general, these guns are a lot better. You don't really have the highest fire rate, so sometimes it's a bit tough to... Well, the people fly through your guns, but when these things connect, they are dead. I'm not really watching my ammo in this thing whatsoever, because you just have so much ammo and mostly a few shells is enough. Right now, Razor actually managed to rip his Vampire because he was compressing a little bit, so I'm gonna be trying to clear his ass so he can go RTP and repair. Going for the back one first, obviously, because if I go for the first one, the back one will just be right on my 6, and I don't want that. So if this guy breaks off, and it looks like he is, because he's going straight, he's not following Razor. So I'm starting to spray here. Doesn't seem to get a hit in. I go for the guy on Razor, kind of in the hope that he will turn around, because if he does, I can easily pull into him. There we go. He really made a bad call on that one. He pulled in way too soon. If he had pulled more to the right, then he might have been able to get away with it. But with the way he was set up, he pulled into me. I know, just know it's not gonna happen. But thanks for that, because now I can extend right for Razor and the P80. He manages to fly into the ground, which is unfortunate because that would have been 10 kills. But alas, we turn around, go head on with the P80, the F80A, get a crit in. Guns are extremely high velocity. I recommend you to run tracer bells, because they're a good 200 meters a second faster than the stealth, even though they are the same shells. So be sure to run tracers. They're definitely the best shells, the best damage output, and also the highest velocity. And at this point he's crit. I'm just gonna go up, out-turn him completely. Don't really need a lot of ammo for that one. Razor flies into the ground, and my team isn't looking the best. And at this point I'm saying, let's try to make it 9. Of course, it's a bit cocky, and I wasn't really expecting it to happen, because, well, P80s, F84s, they do outperform this thing. You're basically a fat meteor, you're a little bit faster, but you turn definitely worse. And if the P80 is running min fuel and you're not, he will outturn you. And even if you run min fuel and they run min as well, it's surprisingly close. So it's not... You're not outturning everything you see. Of course, you will get away with turning a lot of things, because most people don't really know how to fly the F80, because it's for most people you face is their first jet. Meteors you do have no business turning with, but you do outrun them. The MiG-9 Lates are a bit more of a problem. They are really fast. You do outturn them, but they have a lot of energy and they don't really lose it. F84s are extremely fast and they are a total bitch to fight in this thing. But you still have the guns, and the F84, the moment it starts to turn with you, it's dead. Even if it tries to extend away after 2 or 3 turns, it's dead. It doesn't out-accelerate you, well, up until of course your terminal speed, which is about 820 out of my head. The F84 definitely goes a bit faster. And again, go head on, I miss it, 2 people coming head on with me, so I just loop up, I have a lot more energy. I was diving on them, and they were killing AI. Oh, very little chance that they were going to stick with this. They tried, but it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna go for the top one because he bled way more speed than the bottom guy, so he will be a significantly easier kill. Get a kill on him. Let's take a look where he is. Debating if I should go for the F80A or the guy behind me here, or both F80As. And there comes the F84. So I wanted to go vertical for the F80 on my right here, but I couldn't, because the F84 was coming in, but he's going a lot slower than I anticipated, so it's kind of a waste. I could have easily gone up, killed the F80 below me, and then dealt with him, dealt with the F84 as I was coming back down, but I didn't know that I saw an F84 get spotted. I was expecting him to go about 800, which he wasn't. I'm just gonna loop over. F80 again, I'm gonna turn back into his guns, give him a false sense of security, because if he tries to pull up with this, he will just stall himself out. F80 tries to go with the dogfight. I have way more speed than him, and you can see that I'm just not carrying out my aim. I'm just hosing him. There he goes, hit him once and he's gone, he's out of the game. F80 is gonna make it back to base, I think. I'm not too sure if his engine is damaged or something, but he's extremely slow. So I will just finish him off. So I'm not sure what happened to him. He doesn't seem to be smoking, he doesn't seem to be damaged that badly, but he's extremely slow, so he's either out of fuel, which I doubt at this point in the game. But there's something wrong with him. So I'm just gonna chase him down. I don't want him to go back to base. At this point I'm not too sure what's gonna happen to him. He's just slow. And I'm gonna make sure that he stays into the ground. But I am quite sure that he can limp back to base in this way. So I just shoot a little burst at him. Crit him completely. And now there's no chance in hell he's gonna make it back. So I just shoot one shell into him, or one click. Trying to kill him. Set him on fire. He is absolutely toast, and there's definitely no way in hell that he's gonna recover from that. Just waiting for him to roll out now. There he goes. And that's 6. 3 left to go. 2 fights, 2 kills that are coming up are rather still. Last one is a little bit more tense. So I have 5 minutes of fuel left. And it's a bit of a waiting game at this point, because I know one is landing. I saw the tracers on the runway. I'm not too sure where the other ones are. So at this point I'm just going to be climbing slightly. I don't want to overheat my engine, so I'm not going to be running on 100%. And I'm just going to be looking for the last guys. I know one is the P51H. That's the guy I missed at the first merge of the game. But the other twos I'm not too sure on. I think one was an F80 and the other one I didn't actually know. So I'm just going to be sitting into clouds. Waiting for something to pop up. I see a dot. I'm using the clouds here to spot, because if you're on the lowest layer of the clouds, the white filter of the clouds make the dots a little bit more visible. And that's the P51H. Miss him again, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to aim. I can just keep that mouse click down. F88 crashes, unfortunately, on the runway. Luckily for me. He's repairing. So what I want to do here is simply wait for him to repair so I can get an extra kill. I'm not going to strafe him, I'm going to let him take off. And I will actually outturn him unless he runs min fuel, and then it's going to be actually really close. But I'm not too sure on that yet. And he's of course next to the runway. I just want to kill the other guy. I only have 3.5 minutes of fuel left at this point. Well, almost 4, but I also have to make it back to base. So let's say 3 minutes. I'm right above the airfield and I want to find that last guy. At least the guy that's in the air. Hoping he's here. I think he is, because I saw a dot earlier. But I'm not too sure if that's the dead F80A or the F84. And now I start hearing a jet engine. Not too sure where it is. Trying to look for it, and there he is. He gets spotted. He's climbing in an F84 and I'm going 7 or 650. I'm sorry. A bit scummy, waiting for him to take off, I guess. But he's just... I mean, you're basically giving it to me at this point. I was hoping for him to maneuver or something. I actually miss it. Click him out of the air. I got my 8 kills. And I hoped that the F80A repaired. I think he did. And at this point I have 3 minutes of fuel left. And it's actually going to be very close, because he's going to take off. He needs some altitude, and I'm going to give it to him. And the F84 I wasn't going to let take off and get the speed up, just simply because it's an F84 and he's so damn fast that if he gets his speed up and I have to deal with an F80 in the meantime, I can't do anything. The F84 is way too fast, and even an F80 that keeps its speed up is a very tough cookie to crack in this thing. So I'm gonna turn away from the runway. I'm gonna get him get some speed. But of course I don't want him to run away from the airfield, so I want to have him on this side of the base. So I'm gonna turn back in, kind of fly in front of him, let him get some more speed, and of course get some separation between me and the AA. I'm a lot faster at this point, but I just want to drag him away from the base so he doesn't start camping it. He has a lot of ammo. He actually has more ammo than me in terms of fire time, because he has the M2 50 cals. and 50 cals. This thing doesn't take damage very well. And here I didn't go steep enough, so when I turned back in, he stalled himself out completely. Was expecting him to drop, he didn't. The clouds kind of made that a tough call, or a bad call on my end. I'm gonna drop my troll a little bit to get behind him, and of course he's gonna book it back to base, and I can't blame him. I don't condone with it, but I can't really blame him. I'm just gonna be spraying him. I still had 200 rounds left, which is 1/3 of my ammo for 1 kill, and I don't really need to hit a lot. And here we go. You didn't see that. I actually turned so well because I was so low on fuel. I'm not used to the F80 turning that much worse than me because I'm on so little fuel. But I did a keyboard shot thinking I would get the shot in. I just started hosing him because I had so much ammo, and I missed all of it because I actually outperformed him so much. A bit embarrassing. At this point I was getting a bit tense because I could feel that 9, and of course when you feel that kill coming up you kind of want to get it. At this point I kind of recollected myself, I took a deep breath, start the dogfight. I'm also very low on fuel, so if I don't kill him quickly I will either die to AA, I will die to his energy, or I will die to being out of fuel. But at this point I take a very deep breath, 44 rounds left, he flies into my guns and I click twice and he's dead. And that's game. Quite a quick game actually, even though it was 9 kills. But of course there's only one flyout, because if it's a landing in between, then I don't count my high kill games as much, because it's basically 2 separate games. You don't have to manage your ammo, you don't have to manage your plane. So I don't hold those in as high of a regard. Of course they're still good games and I still like them, but I'd rather do it in one flyout like this one. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will, as per usual, show the reward screen at the end, and I will see you all very soon.